There's an Instagram page called Sabby Cat. It was just a normal page. But one night, while the woman behind the account was driving home after attending a concert at around 12:30 a.m., something terrifying happened. At first, everything seemed completely normal. Then this was captured. Take a look.
No ghosting, no gravity. You're level 35, you're fucking high. Whoever put that. You okay?
Did you see it? If we slow the footage down, you can clearly see a dark figure step in front of her car. Thankfully, there wasn't a collision. But there's another disturbing part of the video. Take a look.
No ghosting, no gravity. You're level 35, you're fucking high. Whoever put that. You okay? Someone was in the middle of the fucking road.
I know you didn't see anything, and that's exactly what's disturbing. We can clearly see the dark figure on the front-facing camera, but when the rear camera shows the same moment, there's no sign of it. It's as if the figure simply vanished. It's impossible for someone to run out of view in less than a second. The woman was terrified and screamed in fear. Whatever she encountered that night remains unexplained. A man from Florida had recently divorced his wife, and they shared 50/50 custody of their kids. The children would spend 1 month with her, then the next month with him. But one day, while he was driving, he received some incredibly disturbing voicemails from his ex-wife. What was heard in those messages was so unsettling that he immediately called the police.
What you sent me, and I'll submit those already, but just to put them on camera, yeah.
So that was the first voicemail, where she can be heard crying and asking for help. But that was only the beginning. Take a look. I know, things just got a lot more disturbing. She keeps repeating in a terrifying voice, "You're alive. You're not really dead." She says it over and over again. The man told police that it didn't even sound like his ex-wife's voice. He also pointed out that it sounded like multiple voices, not just one woman speaking. I know, now it's seriously disturbing. You can hear crying, along with phrases like, "Leave us alone," and "I'm dead." The man told the police that he believed his ex-wife was possessed. And yeah, the entire situation is deeply unsettling. Even the officers seemed shocked by the voicemails and questioned why someone would be crying like that while saying those kinds of things. A Russian couple was driving somewhere late at night. At first, everything seemed completely normal. Then, something appeared to step in front of their vehicle. Take a look.
Паша, кто-то стоит! Паша, ответь ее! Поехали быстрее, пожалуйста, господи!
It isn't clear whether it was a man or a woman, but it appears to be a woman wearing an old white dress. Once again, the biggest question is, why did it try to walk in front of their vehicle? And what would someone be doing in the middle of a highway, late at night, dressed like that? Some people have even linked the incident to witchcraft. What do you think happened? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. A man who worked for the press was driving somewhere late at night. As he passed by a graveyard, he noticed something hanging from a tree. Take a look.
Meu pô, vocês tinham coragem de passar num lugar desse? E aí? Tinha coragem? Olha pra isso. Vou até parar aqui, lugar desse aqui é só...
Does this make any sense to you? There were thousands of dolls hanging from the tree, but why? If you look closely, you can also see several figures made out of stones near the area. He continued driving a little farther and came across another tree. This time, it had smaller dolls hanging from its branches.
Em cima do muro, vai pra isso aqui. Você tá doido?
After seeing that, he turned around and stopped once again at the first tree to get another look.
Olha. Olha o cenário. Olha esse pé de árvore aqui, ó. Cheio de boneco pendurado, olha. Olha pra isso. Cena de filme, viu? É outro mundo pra cá. Cena de filme de terror mesmo.
But honestly, none of this makes any sense. Maybe someone from Latin America knows what it means, because why would there be thousands of dolls hanging from a tree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. An officer named Daniel and his partner were chasing a car late at night, with their dashcam recording everything. At first, they believed the driver was drunk and expected him to pull over at any moment. But then, he made a shocking turn. Take a look. The officers managed to get a quick glimpse of the driver's face, but they continued the pursuit. Take another look. At this point, they thought they had lost the driver, but just seconds later, the car came back into view. The way he was driving was extremely strange, yet the officers continued trying to pull him over. The driver was now traveling at an incredibly high speed, which the officers later described as unnatural. Then he suddenly turned onto a rural road, and what happened next was genuinely unsettling. Take a look. He suddenly drove straight through a fence, literally through it, without any collision. The officers immediately stopped, asking, "How is that possible?" There was no sign of an impact. The fence was still standing, and the driver simply disappeared deeper into the darkness. Whatever happened that night remains deeply disturbing. In Quebec, Canada, near the Appalachian Mountains, two friends were driving late at night down a dark and isolated road. One of them had started recording the darkness outside when they suddenly noticed something emerging from the shadows ahead. At first, they thought it might be someone who needed help, so they slowed down and stopped the car. But as they got closer, they realized it wasn't an ordinary person. Standing motionless by the side of the road was a clown dressed in white. It wasn't moving. It wasn't saying anything. It was just staring at them. But what happened next is what makes this encounter truly disturbing. Take a look. The clown suddenly turned around. At first, it seemed like it was heading back into the darkness, but instead, it bent down and picked up a chainsaw. The moment the two friends saw it, panic set in. They immediately threw the car into reverse, sped away as fast as they could, and got out of there before the clown could get any closer. A man was driving down a highway late at night when he suddenly spotted something strange. Keep your eyes on the right side of the road. Take a look. If we zoom in on the footage, you can make out what appears to be a human-like figure sitting on the side of the road in a squatting position. Even with the camera zoomed in, the face isn't visible because of the poor image quality. To me, it looks like it could be a person, but many people online believe it's some kind of humanoid figure. Whatever it was, seeing something like that alone on the side of the highway in the middle of the night would be genuinely unsettling. Moving on to the final video. This one could easily be considered a near-death experience caught on camera. A man was driving through a hilly area. At first, everything seemed completely normal. The sky was clear, and nothing looked out of the ordinary. But within seconds, something terrifying was captured. Take a look. Suddenly, massive rocks began falling from the mountainside, with some of them crashing into the car ahead. The drivers immediately rushed back to their vehicles to get out of the danger zone. Just look at how terrifying this is. If something like this happened to you, it would probably stay with you for a long time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment telling me what topic you'd like to see next. You've been watching Night Archives.